Am I the asshole for being upset at my brother and my SIL for their dream wedding opinions? We all come from a very traditional and family-centric culture. Weddings are usually about family in our culture, as if it's a big reunion. The ideal wedding is more than 200 plus guests, and you're frowned down upon if it's less guests, especially if family is excluded. I am of the belief that culture is very important. My wedding was amazing, and I made sure to make it both about me and my husband but also about our families. We never agreed with the wedding is only about the couple mindset. Nobody in our family agreed. So now my brother and his fiancée are about to get married in some months. I had a birthday dinner few days ago and my parents, my brother and his fiancée were invited. On the wedding topic, I asked them their honest opinions on what their dream wedding would look like. My brother asked me if I really wanted his honest opinion, and I said yes, not expecting what I was about to hear. His dream wedding would be to invite everyone in our family on the church so they could attend the ceremony, but they wouldn't want a party or a reception afterwards, and the ideal thing would be to either gather with some friends at home and have some drinks and food, or rent out a small place like a restaurant or tavern for just them and their 10-15 closest friends and have dinner or a beer and then just go home. They said that they're not doing that though because they feel basically forced to please family due to our culture, and that it's no point talking about that because if they had their dream wedding we'd constantly nag them. My parents and I took great offense on those opinions. Opinions that my SIL basically agreed on and said that's her dream wedding too because she can't stand family pressure. We explained to them that this is not a wedding, that's just a night out, and it's ridiculous how young people have so little value for weddings and family nowadays. They said we are the asshole for being upset because we asked for their honest opinion and they have it. You are the asshole, you didn't want their honest opinion. You wanted confirmation of your opinion. He's doing the culturally appropriate wedding. Stop creating fake scenarios to give him grief. Go enjoy the wedding. You are the asshole. Weddings are personal. This is your cue to be decent and help them actually have the wedding of their dreams, instead of the wedding of your and your parents' dreams. Personally, I think they've got the right idea. Focus on what's important, the wedding, not the reception, which is basically a party. It's really ironic that you can't see this. And it's sad that they know they can't have this because you and your parents won't be supportive. In any case, you asked. Being rude about their answer was obnoxious. If you don't want an honest answer, don't insist on getting one. Woman shrugging, medium light skin tone. You are the asshole. You're trying to police not just other people's actions, but their thoughts and feelings, which they wouldn't even have bothered you with if you hadn't insisted. You are the asshole. First, you asked for their opinion. You do not get to be angry at them for giving it when they give you their honest opinion. Secondly, the reception is not important and neither is the ceremony. The only thing that matters is the paperwork they sign. As long as they do that properly, the rest is optional. You are the asshole. You asked for an honest opinion but judge them when they give it to you. Based on this post, I have a feeling you already knew they weren't the biggest fan of big weddings, so you asking them was just to put them on the spot. They clearly value family since they are willing to have a wedding that caters to everyone else's needs but their own, not to mention that they'll have to spend a fuckload of money they probably don't want to spend. Young people have so little value for weddings and family nowadays. What are you, 60? You are the asshole. You are the asshole. You asked for their opinion, so to be upset at the answer is both ridiculous and self-centered. In addition to that, they don't even feel like they can have their dream wedding because of people like you and the rest of your family pressuring them into your own selfish version of a wedding celebration. If I were them and had family that acted like you, I would have the wedding of my dreams and then never speak to any of my selfish family again. If you love them, be supportive of what will make them happy. You are the asshole. Okay, let me get this straight. Your brother and his fiancée want one thing. But because you and your family are all assholes about weddings, they are sacrificing their own dream wedding to make y'all happy, and you assholes are still making it about you. Am I the asshole for deleting my younger brother's secret stash of intimate photos? I was using my brother's laptop the other day. He's 23 and kind of a asshole. When I searched for some important document that I had just downloaded, I stumbled across a folder that said, bank_statements, but I saw it was about 1.2 gigs. I obviously knew he did not have 1.2 gigabytes of bank statements, so when I clicked on it, I saw that he has, I dunno, about 50,100 photos and like a dozen videos of people I recognize. All his ex-girlfriends. And yeah, it doesn't need saying what kinds of photos they were. I thought this was really sleazy. I am sure he didn't have their permission and I deleted the entire folder. backup and more. When he found it, and surprise surprise, he found out like that evening, he went ballistic and accused me of stealing the photos for myself and being a perv. Talk about projection. I simply asked him whether he had permission and he said it's none of my business and I'm forbidden from using his laptop or his car apparently. Even though our parents bought us both those things. Am I the asshole here? I'm in half a mind to actually reach out to his exes to make sure they know what I saw. Not the asshole, and honestly I am disgusted that people are saying otherwise. The intensity of fact that you snooped is negated by the fact that he probably retained those photos without consent. If he did, whole nother story, but I doubt it. Edit. What really shocks me is how some people are more concerned about the morality surrounding snooping than the potential for Op's brother keeping explicit pics, vids of his exes without their knowledge. Not the asshole, you did those girls a huge solid. Sometimes the right thing is the hard thing and it sucks you've lost access to the car as a result. I don't know if there's any value in reaching out the girls. There isn't much they'll be able to do about it, and if your brother is out of their life, it may just cause them drama. Ethically, you probably shouldn't have opened the folder in the first place. There could have been regular porn in there or intimate pictures of his current partner. You really shouldn't snoop like that. Once you had already done it and found the photos, deleting was absolutely the way to go though. Not the asshole. If he had permission he could ask them to resend. Not the asshole. And from another comment I just saw of you saying he has a current girlfriend makes this even more gross. Was she aware of the folder with images of all his previous exes? Not the asshole. Dudes who keep their EXS nudes without their consent are so gross. Not the asshole. When you break up with someone, unless they say otherwise, the moral, decent thing to do is delete any intimate photos and videos. I feel like I can't say NTA here because you literally did go snooping through his computer. You saw a folder titled Bank Statements, checked how large it was and then decided, let me take a look, when you absolutely knew it was going to be something private like porn. That genuinely is creepy, not okay on your part. On the other hand, he is absolutely sleazy for keeping those photos, and the moment you knew they existed did right by deleting them. Everyone sucks here, I guess? You invaded his privacy, but happenstance turns out yeah, he's a creep, so it was the right follow-up. Not the asshole, but this thread is sure full of awe. Is basic decency to delete the kind of pics Op found when you break with a person, because you no longer have permission to watch that person naked. Plus, the only people I've known that has saved these pics after a breakup are asshole that have then distributed them. Either way, you need to be an asshole and a pervert to do it. Am I the asshole for asking my sister's neighbor to refund me money for Easter eggs? So this happened about 4 days ago and I'm still livid. So for a quick background, I, 25F, was in a pretty bad car wreck a few months ago. Because of my injuries, I haven't been able to work, so between medical bills and lawyer fees, money's been pretty tight. My sis Anna has 4 children and I have a 3-year-old son. Before the wreck, I always went out of my way to make sure the kids had good holidays. My siblings and I didn't get anything growing up, so I spoil them. My sister is a single mom, so money is tight for her too, which is why I tried to be a good aunt and go all out. I decided to forego the extravagant Easter baskets from years past because it was out of my budget. I sat them down and explained the situation. They understood and asked if we could do a family Easter egg hunt instead. I got cheap eggs in specific colors to make sure each kid knew which eggs to hunt for and bought name brand candy to put in them. I added a few dollars in some of them and a few little toys and trinkets I knew the kids would like. We decided to do it at Anna's house because she had a yard. It took me an hour to hobble around hiding eggs, but it was worth it. We started and 2 boys came sprinting across the yard with pillowcases. They started picking up eggs with our kids. We tried to explain that it was a family thing, but they ignored us. Their dad came out while this was happening and I tried to explain. I usually wouldn't mind, but not this time. The dad talked over me. He thanked us for doing this and said that his kids were thrilled when they saw me hiding eggs. I'm sure you don't mind a few of their friends joining in. They're just kids and they get excited. After they were done, they ran back home. They had taken most of the eggs and had messed up the number that each of our kids got. My youngest niece had yellow eggs and had only found 2 of them since the neighbor kids had taken them all. The kids were upset and I was mad. The next day, I went over to their house and asked to speak to their dad. I said that I didn't care that they joined in because they were just kids, but I needed him to pay me back so I could buy more eggs to redo it with just my family. He lost it on me. He said that candy and plastic eggs are cheap, so it shouldn't matter about paying me back because it wasn't much. He started ranting about how I should have told them to stop and how I was a massive B for demanding money because his kids wanted to be included in what their friends were doing. He called us greedy and refused to pay me just because my family was upset that they didn't get enough eggs. He basically called me stupid and told me that the point of an egg hunt was competition. I talked to my family about the situation. My sister agrees with what I did, but my mom said I was an asshole for demanding he pay me back because it was some cheap Easter eggs and candy, so I should just let it go. Not the asshole. An egg hunt in your own yard is not an event open to the public and you had every right to be angry. He said that candy and plastic eggs are cheap. Well then it should be easy for him to pay you back, right? Not the asshole. That guy is horribly entitled, and I feel bad for the kids that are being raised to be horribly entitled too. Not the asshole. Those little jerks watched you hide the eggs so your kids never had a chance. More importantly, they weren't even invited, and their dad sent them on over anyway. Not the asshole. His kids were trespassing on your property, and literally stole from you. Not the asshole, but why didn't you stop them in the moment? I understand wanting to avoid conflict, but like at that time was the correct time to deal with it rather than after the fact. Not the asshole, and find out when their birthdays are so you can all go have cake and open a present. Not the asshole. Who the FXCK tells their kids to join an Easter egg hunt they've not been invited to? Next time, because he's the type that'll do it again, do not let the kids join in and tell them their dad will sort them their own hunt. WTF? A family Easter egg hunt in your own yard isn't a public event. I would have taken any eggs from the little shits and unceremoniously ejected them from the yard. Barging into your yard to join in is something you could let slide if it were the kids playing tag or something, not if they are basically there to rob you. No way. Out. What they did was beyond rude and entitled, it was trespassing and stealing. And then the dad has the gall to blame you for not stopping his kids when he allowed them to just barge in and steal the kids' Easter eggs? That's rich. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole if I tell people my husband and I are no longer together against his wishes? My husband left me a month ago, saying he wanted to try something new and was tired of me. He moved out and says he has been looking for a new girlfriend on dating apps. However, he told me he wants me to tell friends and family that we are still together because they would think badly of him for leaving his wife after less than a year of marriage. At first I agreed to his wishes, and when people asked how my husband was doing I just said he's doing good, busy, etc. But honestly I am growing increasingly uncomfortable with lying. Yesterday he again told me that I'm not allowed to tell people and that I have to say we are still living together. What is the protocol on this sort of thing? Does it have to be a mutual decision to decide to tell people of a breakup, or am I not the asshole and it's okay if I stick to the facts? What the fuck, hire a divorce attorney now. Listen like they are God, because while you are totally not the asshole, your sense of reality, judgment is not great right now. None of this is okay. I'm so sorry you are being treated like this. Not the asshole, he's trying to avoid you getting love and support while he leaves. Are you currently getting a divorce? Not the asshole. You have every right to tell people. He walked out, he doesn't get to have his cake and eat it too. I'm sorry you are going through this. He sounds very controlling. Not the asshole. I have a policy that has always served me well. I may refrain from going out of my way to say something, but I will never lie for the sole purpose of making someone's life more convenient. If he doesn't want people to think badly of him for leaving his wife after less than a year of marriage, he could try not leaving his wife after less than a year of marriage. Divorce his ass, take him for everything you can get, and let anyone who asks know the truth. He's left you, so why the fuck are you doing him a favor? Tell everyone, starting with his friends and family, that he's not only left you but expects you to keep up his charade. Not the asshole as long as you start living your life and don't obey your ex's nonsense request. Not the asshole. Oh, hell nah. He abandons you cause your old hat and he wants something new and shiny, and then has the unmitigated gall to not only ask but demand and tell you that you're going to act as his personal PR and run image management? Tell him to get fucked, you're not his doormat. Not the asshole. Man's really said, I don't want people to think badly of me. Then, just, IDK, don't act badly? Also, he's literally benefiting from a marriage with you that no longer exists, while benefiting from being single. Trash at its finest. Not the asshole. He left you, he doesn't get to control any aspect of your life. Hiding this from people isn't healthy and doesn't allow you to seek the comfort of your friends and family. If he's so worried about what people may think, he shouldn't be on dating apps trying to find a new girlfriend after leaving his wife. The truth always comes out eventually.